So it's Tuesday, 6th of March 2018, that is 1646. I am trying to distract myself a little because they're a little stupid again today, fucking Fix Monday here, doing all kinds of crap. And what I'm doing is, I am, if you've been following the videos, you know what this here is. This is the football teams in Thailand, and I am looking for suitable candidates, foreigners, so to speak, from a foreign perspective, foreign players who meaningfully would suit into Thailand football, and I want to make an official suggestion come the day. For every single club, I want to make an official suggestion for one foreigner, and in addition to that, for one Thailand national player currently playing abroad to ideally be brought back into Thailand to play for a Thailand club. So every club of the first league and every club of the second league, as well as select clubs of the third league, namely those of the big cities, such as Prague, Budapest, and so on, Dresden, and so on and so forth, will get two official suggestions, personalized, so to speak, for each club, not the same suggestions that I think would A, fit into Thailand, and B, fit to this club, and so on and so forth. So that's what I've been working on for quite a while. You find this here and this here, rightmost column. These are the foreigners. And for that, I've been going through the various squads of all the countries, all the teams in the uppermost two tiers of football, two divisions of football. And one of the players that I found suitable was a guy called Michael Morrison. Here you have a photo of his. Albion fella, he Bury St Edmunds born, and currently playing in Birmingham. And I was thinking which of the still vacant teams I should put him with, so to speak. Still vacant means that don't have an entry here yet in this column. And I wanted to do me a little more information gathering on Michael Morrison beyond what I do in my very own way. I thus went to the official website of Birmingham City Football Club and looked up the entry for Michael Morrison here. Now, if you look at this photograph, this is the current photograph. If you wanna, please note the sponsor here. And if you look at this photograph, and I am assuming that this photograph is actually a little older than this photograph, here. If you know about the internet technologies and the various virtualware apps and the facial expression, mannerism, and so on apps, this is a complete ridicule of this man. Now, to be perfectly fair, they are ridiculing practically every single football player on the planet, at least in the major divisions. I could tell you stories. I've just been through some French clubs and I've been through some Italian clubs there. It's very interesting which club ridicules their players in which style. I don't want to go into this. I just want to demonstrate this particular case because here's something very interesting. So, complete fuckery of this poor man, Michael Morrison, making him look like this piece of shit. And the interesting thing is, I tried to figure who's responsible for making this man look like this piece of shit, because this is a good man, okay? By my definition of humans, this is a good man. I am looking for people who are integral characters who, no matter how bad mindfucking, still have not completely caved in. That is my criteria that I'm looking for, and generally for people who bring a bit of intelligence, okay? Now, people can be made to make a stupid face and look like shit or look like dreamy or whatever. This facial expression is not this man's original facial expression. I want you to point this out. This is what the guy looks like. He's a serious guy. He's a grown man. He's 30 years old, and this is what they make him look like. Now, look what it says here. Player sponsored by Symone Ingram. Okay, this is actually a image, so that probably no one can do a Google text search for it. That's why they put it in an image and not in actual letters, such as here. These are letters, but this is an image. Okay, so that no one can trace Symone Ingram. But of course, you can just fucking Google Symone Ingram. And if you Google Symone Ingram, the fourth entry down has to do with genetics. Now for that, I want to point out to you that for about 30 years, and I do want to point out this man is not, I want to make this clear, not one of their breeding program of football players, and I do mean breeding like horses and dogs. That is exactly what I mean. Genetic manipulation of what they think makes a good football player, just for the fun of it. Symone Ingram, the fourth down, Animal Health Trust, genetics curly coat, and look what it is here, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. Okay, DNA test offer, wink, winking, nudging all the fucking way. Inquiry should be made to Symone Ingram. I want you to understand just what all Fex Mundi are doing out there. Now, once more, this guy is not a genetic construct, so to speak. This is a normal guy. He's a good guy. He is a grown, adult, serious man, and I understood that he was the right material for what I want to bring to Finland as foreign players, because in the past, if you care about football, in the predecessor states of Finland, be it Austria, be it wherever else, it's not really any difference. There always was a problem that way too many quintessentially average foreign players took up the slots and barred native players from playing. And eventually, 2-3 years max later, even the stupid club presidents found out that those foreigners were quintessentially at the very best mediocre, or in German, nichtssagend, as footballers. And instead of replacing them with native players, they replaced them with yet more such from abroad. And in Finland, I want to explain to all the football professionals in the clubs how that is pointless, how you should, if you bring foreigners, make it people who belong into Finland, so to speak, even in a beyond football definition of a way. Okay? So, and Michael Morrison was one of the people I came across, and I figured, yes, this man passed my test. This is the right guy it takes. And I did me more info, and I was pretty taken aback by the ridiculous facial expression that he gave him here. And I have an automatic alert system for all kinds of Fex Mundi fuckery, and Symone Ingram, four links down on Google, gets you the genetic DNA test off a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, wink wink nudgery shit. Okay, I just want you to understand what all Fex Mundi is doing. Not just are these, and please don't get this wrong. I don't want to be mistaken here. I don't want to be misunderstood. I'm not mistaken. That was a wrong translation. I am not mistaken. I don't want to be misunderstood here. The problem is not that all of the engineered football players that they put out there all happen to be defect in the sense that they couldn't tap into the zero-dimensional mind. Because a lot of their genetic messery has nothing really to do with those parts in the human genome that decide over your brain being intact or not. This is just other aspects of their genetic makeup, so to speak, that they happily fuck around with and have been doing for 30 years ballpark in the major football nations and a little less even in other places. And here's a wonderful example. Fucking Symone Ingram, even though, and I want to make this clear, maybe Symone Ingram actually wrongly makes advertisement as in the good Mr. Michael Morrison allegedly being one of her creatures. I assure you that as the universe that I am, this guy has come about in completely biological, normal fashion by his dad humping his mother and no genetic messing anywhere involved. If Symone Ingram pretends otherwise, then she's not just a Fex Mundi whore, which she is in general, but moreover, she is a Fex Mundi lying whore. And yes, that is the same Symone Ingram that here in a wink wink nudgery kind of way fucks everybody up. Understand, once more, this is very important to me, the incredible extent of, especially in the top flights of football, nothing but petri dish, so to speak, genetically engineered football players being rampant, so to speak, but how they are not freakazoids. Okay, I want my definition of freakazoid is if they mess with things that pertain at all to anything with the zero-dimensional. Today, I've been spending the last 2-3 hours looking through this, and yesterday evening a little. Like every other footballer of a certain age, or beneath a certain age, one should say, happens to be out of their breeding program, and that's nothing unusual. It is horrendous, it is sad, but it's nothing unusual. These footballers are not in any way biologically damaged. They are not to be considered freakazoids. Okay, I want to make this clear, but it gets completely ridiculous in the case of Michael Morrison, who has nothing to do even with being genetically engineered. This is a perfectly normal human being that for whichever reason and why ever, Symone Ingram, the fuckery bitch from the DNA test of a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, wink wink nudge nudgery shit, decided to sponsor whatever exactly that means for the financial situation at the club, Birmingham City Football Club, okay? And this year, if you are a little creative, the shape of this very logo represents something that some people call a double helix and so on and so forth. Not me, right? That's the fucking idiots. But I just want to point out to you what all is going on out there and what all you all do nothing about. But mankind will be liberated, and who knows? Maybe the good Michael Morrison will decide, along with these other guys, to, I mean, not all of them, but maybe he'll find himself playing in Thailand football in a liberated world. And I just want to demonstrate you the sheer, I'm not sure for a word here, and not because it wouldn't be in my English vocabulary, but I don't have one in my German vocabulary either. I'm not even sure what to call this. I mean, this goes beyond in your face. This is how Fex Mundi ignorant fuckerines. She is a nobody. Get this right, please. She's not one of the overlord bitch mistresses or something. No, she ain't. She's a fucking nobody. So she fucks up, or has fucked up, I doubt she does it herself, with some genetic engineering crap. Fine. Oh, that's awesome for her. But the very fact that a Google search 4 entries down lays her all open. They don't fucking care. Because so far, no one fucking came and fucking killed bitches and Fex Mundi crap creatures like Symone Ingram. I record this video in the hope that someone starts doing just that. Thank you very much.